thank you to Arden Wolfsky for your generous support on Patreon.
After breakfast, I help Grandma with washing the dishes. I can't help but hum to myself. For some reason, I'm in a really good mood today. You're welcome, dear. She has a huge, genuine smile on her face while she cleans. It must not be very often she has someone other than Grandpa complimenting her food. Huh? To my surprise, she starts humming along with me. It's the theme song to an old television show I watched when I was a kid. I'm surprised she knows it too. Hoshitabi, Grandma. Oh, I didn't think you would remember that show. When you were a baby, your father used to hold you in his lap while you watched it together. You were such an adorable child. Grandma. Now look at you. You're almost all grown up. Funny how time flies. Why, you're gonna make me cry. I suppose I never thought about it, but I'm sure my visit has awakened a lot of nostalgic feelings in her, too. As the sunlight shines through the window, I can see her eyes twinkle. I love you, Grandma. She pulls me closer with her right arm and squeezes. I love you, too. I could stay like this forever. I'm glad I got this opportunity to be with my grandparents. You never know how much longer you have with them. There's a sense of comfort, familiarity in her embrace. But time marches on. Not everything lasts forever. Distance myself from her, blushing slightly. Even now, the moment's already gone. Could you get that, dear? I'll finish up with the dishes. Alright, sure thing. I wipe my hands off with a nearby towel and rush to catch the phone in time. Hello, Nishimura residence, this is Hiroyuki. Hiro! A voice cries out from the other end of the line. I know that voice anywhere. Torah? Why do you sound so surprised? I don't know. If you could only see my face, you'd understand how annoying it is. Normal people don't exactly yell someone's name into the phone. Take a deep breath and try to maintain composure. Dude, you take things way too seriously. Meh. Anyway, there's a strange pause. Do you want to meet me at the bus stop in half an hour? I've got something cool I want to show you. I'll take that as a yes. Thanks, Yuki. I'll see you soon. Usually makes that noise when he's embarrassed. I feel like I just got hit by a whirlwind. What just happened? Hey, Omacross. Thank you for the subscribe. Put the phone back on the receiver and return to the kitchen. Who was that, dear? It was Torah. Wants to meet me at the bus stop in half an hour? Is that so? I nodded confusion. He didn't say what for. I guess it's a surprise? Oh, that boy is something else. She smiles at me. I'm sure the two of you will have a good time. Sure. I glance off to the side. Since you're heading out, I'm going to give you a list of errands I'd like you to run. That's fucking nice. Oh! I know I said I'd be more than happy to do this for them, but I kind of got used to not having any yesterday. There's that bus stop. My brow dripping with ew, I finally arrive at the bus stop. Of course the heat came back, why wouldn't it? Wiping the sweat away, I collapse onto the bench and give a heavy sigh. I don't know what Torihiko wants, but I can't deny his excitement is contagious. I wonder what it's gonna be. Torah usually saves these things for big occasions. Isn't the 5th the day we go to the fucking beach? While waiting for him, I can feel myself getting excited too, causing my tail to swish back and forth. Huh? Those bushes over there moved. This again? A grin breaks out on my face. So, Tor thinks you can pull a fast one on me, huh? Not this time, tiger boy. I slowly stand up and carefully approach the bush. Gotcha! It's like a snake, isn't it? I lunge, only to discover nothing there. I stand up, I scratch my head. Maybe it's just the breeze? With another sigh, I turn around and... Wah! I've fallen on my rear, glaring up at the laughing tiger. You should see the look on your face, Hiroyuki! Frowning, I glance down at the ground, flattening my ears against my head. That's not funny anymore. I suddenly feel a strong hand on my shoulder. Looking up, I find myself staring into Torah's eyes. A small smile shows on my face. Hey, I'm sorry, Yuki. I guess I went overboard. My cheeks flare up at the nickname he just called me. His smile widens as he extends a hand down to me, offering to help lift me up. I stare at him for a few moments. The majority is saying we'll go with I can stand on my own, so I guess we'll go with that one. Gently brushing his hand away, I push myself up to my feet and give a triumphant nod. It's okay, I'm fine, Torah. He lowers his hand and nods, glancing to the side. Good! He tries to hide his face, but I can see the redness appear on his cheeks. That's weird. Why is he blushing? I've always admired your strength. I blink as he mumbles something. Unfortunately, he's too low for me to hear. Before I can say anything in response, he turns back and stares at me. There's a slight grin on his face, though I can tell it's forced. Anyway, I wanted to show you something today. I wait for Torah to explain what he wants to show me. He seems to stall, which only makes me impatient. I begin to get even more annoyed at his hesitation, especially when I'm blasted by more of Minnesato's hot summer breeze. You know what, Torah? I might just give it a pass today. What? But why? I hear that an annoyed sigh while he stares at me, a pleading look on his face. Well, for starters, you called me out here and then scared the living daylights out of me. Ugh. Torah puts on a pitiful whimper at my scolding. I feel almost guilty until I remember my frustration with him. Second, I've got a long list of errands I need to do for Grandma. Ugh. At this point, I'm acutely aware of the heat beating down on my forehead. Lastly, it's just way too hot to do anything. Sorry, Torah. I lower my glance at the ground and turn away. As I take a step, I'm suddenly stopped as Hiroyuki calls out, Please wait, Hiroyuki! I promise this will be worth it! Glance over my shoulder to see the tiger looking at me, his pleading expression seemingly desperate. It's basically tied in the votes, and if we don't want Torihiko's route, we want Shun's route. So we'll go do Grandma's errands. Feels bad, though. Oh, I feel bad, because he's all like, please wait, and we're like, no, I gotta go do stuff for my grandma. Oh, this feels bad. But just sweat rolls down my face. This only serves to make my mind up. Slowly I shake my head. Sorry, Torah, I'm just not in the mood for this today. He hangs his head, looking even more pitiful than before. It actually hurts a hell of a lot to see him like this, but I have other things I need to do. I can't just sit around waiting for him to decide he's ready to talk. Dude. Turn my gaze forward and give a sigh. I raise my right hand, waving a goodbye. Guess I blew this one, huh? As I leave him behind, I hear what sounds like sniffles. Oh, that same guilty feeling returns when I dismiss it. Oh. He needs to learn I'm not going to wait forever. I didn't come back just for his entertainment, after all. He's not making this easy, though. Oh. Jesus. After leaving the bus stop, I find myself walking down a road I've become quite familiar with in the short time in Minasato. I carefully try to make sure I'm staying as cool as possible, pausing under whatever trees are kind enough to lend their cooling shade. Just when I thought the temperature was going to be getting manageable. I glance down the list of errands in my hand. It's quite large. At this point, I've basically got the whole day to do them. I think I have enough time to take a quick break and catch some real shade. But where should I go? On the crossroads, I can be wherever I want and to be in no time. I guess I can get a snack at the candy store. Or how about I take a trip up to the shrine? I haven't been there at all this month. Hope the shrine god doesn't get angry with me for that. Where should I go? Alright, shrine it is. I decide to leap the stone barrier and cut across the meadow. It's hotter, sure, but it means I'll reach the shade at the other end faster. Traveling along a side road, I find myself at the stairs leading up to the shrine. I smile inwardly as I remember the good times I used to have here. Hey, hero, wait for me! The memory of that little wolf running after me as we chased each other near the shrine goes through my head. It was my favorite place for us to play. Much to the chagrin of our parents. It feels like such a long time ago. I stand there pondering the thought. It's kind of rude to just be here to get out of the sun. But, it's not gonna hurt anyone. I nod to myself, having made up my mind. As I begin to climb the stairs, I notice a figure standing at the base of the second flight. It seems to be hesitating. Huh? Wait a second, I recognize him. Oh! I ascend the steps faster as I can, so I can catch up with him. Hey, Taro. Oh, it's southern. That was not a southern accent. The lion jolts, looking down at me in surprise. I ignore the sweat rolling down my face as I catch up to him. How are you doing? Oh, you know, taking it easy. He gives me a shy smile and a slight shrug of his shoulders. Can't help but chuckle at his choice of words. He seems so dismissive about it, which kind of reminds me of Shun. And how are you, Mr. Nishimura? I shrugged the same way he did. Enjoying being back in my hometown. It's still kind of like a dream. Everything's exactly the way I remember it. The sights, the smells, the sounds, they're all the same. I look back at him only to notice his expression to become more cautious. From the corner of my eyes, I can see him shielding his pocket with his paw. Hey, I'm about to ask him what he's hiding, but I realized my manners and stopped myself. Instead, I scratch my head awkwardly and glance at the side. The silence is uncomfortable. Looks like this topic went nowhere, so I decided to change the subject. I used to come up here all the time with my dad. Why would you say that? Seems to pique his interest. You know, it's kind of cool to be talking about my father with him, especially given the circumstances. But I had to think of something to talk about. He wanted me to have faith in something. Said it was good for your soul. I rubbed the side of my ear. I didn't really embrace the idea. Taro smiles a little and gives me a slight understanding nod. Of course, I tried my best to take it seriously, especially since Shun's family runs the shrine. Gesturing towards the stairs, I begin to walk up the next flight. The lion follows behind me, his guarded expression seeming to have faded away. Mr. Nishimura, about the shrine. Could you tell me a little more about it? I don't really know much. I stop, waiting as Taro hurriedly catches up. Can't say as I know much myself, but I remember the legend properly. It says that the shrine god is a distant coterie ancestor who oversees the prosperity of the village. I scratch under my chin as I try to remember more of the shrine's legend. He looks after the happiness of everyone by granting them a plentiful life that continues into adulthood. There's more to the legend, but I'm afraid I can't remember it. Sorry. I sigh, feeling a little dejected. Why didn't I pay more attention? I really could have impressed him with my knowledge. That's alright. I didn't know any of that stuff, so thanks. Turning to look at the lion, I could see a warm smile on his face. No problem. I smile back in return. Finally, we reach the top of the stairs. Oh, Shun's here. Hey, we found him. I blink and follow Taro's glance. Sure enough, Shun is out front with a lankier figure. As I try to figure out who it is, I hear a loud groan. Dad, at this rate, it's gonna take forever. I see. The man with Shun is his father. The two of them seem to be hard at work. I really wish you wouldn't complain, son. This is an important task after all, and we still have the courtyard to clean. Surrounding them is a bucket of water, a couple of mops, some brooms, and various other things. As Taro and I slowly enter the field of vision, Shun's eyes meet with mine. Hiroyuki, Sataro! He drops what he's doing and runs for us, leaping to hug us both. Hiya, it's good to see ya! Pulling back from the embrace, I notice Mr. Kotori has arrived behind his son. I bow respectfully to him. It's good to see you again, Mr. Kotori. He bows back rather stiffly and eyes me. I remember you. Nishimura, if I am correct. I nod, suddenly feeling very out of place. Yes, sir. Shun's dad isn't exactly as I remember. While Shun and Taro continue talking, I notice Mr. Kotori's growing frustration. I still have memories of playing video games at Shun's house. His dad often gave us helpful tips whenever we'd get stuck. It's the polar opposite of what I'm seeing right now. He seems almost frustrated that we're here. Shun doesn't seem to notice and instead gives Taro another big hug and the lion returning with an animated smile. I don't know what they're saying. Not because I can't hear them, but because I'm stunned at how close they've become. It's almost as if they're longtime friends. You okay, Hiroyuki? I'm broken out of my thoughts by Shun's voice. Perfect timing, too, as I was starting to feel like a third wheel. Sorry, must have been daydreaming again. You've been doing that a lot lately. He grins at me, tail swishing behind him. Taro looks over at me before giving a soft chuckle. I'm glad he's starting to feel more comfortable around me. Excuse me, Mr. Kotori? The lion bows politely at the older wolf, stares down at him. If it ain't too much trouble, can I enter the shrine? I want to make a prayer. Shun's dad stares at him. After a few moments of silence, he gives a nod. Very well. You may proceed. Taro bows once more, then turns to face us. Giving Shun and I a shy wave, he heads further into the shrine. And what of you, Nishimura? I jolt, not expecting the sudden question. Looking up at him, I'm met with an accusatory stare. Truth be told, I had no real plan for being here, other than getting some shade, but knowing Shun's here brings back feelings of nostalgia. Glancing over at Shun, I notice he's looking a little tired. Maybe I should offer to help? On the other hand, Taro has gone ahead to make a prayer. I could join him instead, if it means escaping Mr. Kotori's glare. Who knows, I might even make a prayer of my own. I'm gonna help Shun with his chores. While I stumble on words to say, Shun goes back to cleaning duty. His heart obviously isn't in it, since as soon as he grabs the mop, he trips over the bucket of water. Hey! Hey, Shun! I call out to the younger wolf, who turns to look at me. Swishing my tail, I give him a wide smile. Would you like some help? It looks like you need it. His eyes light up. Really, Hero? You want to help me? Thanks. I definitely appreciate. This is unacceptable. Both Shun and I stare at his father. The older wolf glares down at me, eyes narrowed. As confusion makes its way to my face, he pinches the bridge of his nose and sighs. This is not a process that outsiders should be involved with. It is an affront to our tradition. I'm sorry, Nishimura, but I cannot allow you to provide this aid. I blink, unable to make a sound. I've never seen Mr. Kotori to be this strict. As I stand there trying to process it all, he turns to his son, eyes narrowing once again. And you, Shun, you should know better. You have a great many responsibilities to our clan, and you must honor this by fulfilling them appropriately. A look of sheer fury appears on Shun's face, the small wolf balling his paws into fists. Oh, I know all about my responsibilities. It's all you ever talk about. Ancient traditions this, coterie honor that. It's never anything else. Hey. Suddenly both their eyes are on me. Why now, of all times? I've had these nervous hiccups under control for a year. What's going on? My eyes flatten back in my ears flatten back in my head. Shrink back and lower my gaze to the ground. Sorry, I didn't mean to offend the shrine god with my offer. I feel a warm breeze blow past my cheek. Holding my breath long enough, I managed to get the hiccups under control. It's fine, hero. His glance becomes sympathetic. He approaches me, placing a paw on my shoulder. As it so happens, the courtyard also needs to be cleaned. Come with me. It shouldn't be a bother with the shrine god. Releasing my shoulder, he walks over to a broom and picks it up. I see his dad shake his head and grumble something to himself, but I'm unable to make out what he says. Come on, hero. Bring the rake, please. Snapping out of my thoughts once again, I pick up the tool he points at and follow my friend. We arrive at the courtyard in silence. I notice Shun's furrowed brow and annoyed expression. The silence is suddenly broken by his sigh, the wolf turning to face me. I'm sorry you had to see that. You don't have to apologize, Shun. I'm just surprised. Your dad used to be so different. As I start to rake some leaves, I hear a snort coming from my friend. That's putting it mildly. Shun begins sweeping the ground, though his motions are rather stiff. I can tell something is bugging him, and honestly, I really want to know. But at the same time, I notice you seem to have a lot more responsibilities now. Has it always been such a big deal? The words leave my mouth before I have a chance to catch them. I continue raking, ashamed of myself for bringing up that topic again. It actually wasn't too bad before. He stops sweeping and lowers his gaze to the floor. For a while, I was able to live my life the way I always did. But last year, everything changed. Suddenly, everything became about my importance to the coterie legacy. I stop raking for a moment, wondering if there's anything I should say or do, but Shun continues talking. It's become a daily thing now. What about the rest of your family? Shun gives another snort and continues to sweep. Are you kidding? They're just as bad. Mom says I should listen to Dad, and as for grandfather... He shudders slightly. Lord, it'd be Iwao Coterie. Iwao Coterie. He enunciates it in a sarcastic way. The Coterie clan elder was as intimidating as they come. Even when he smiled, it was as if he was judging you with his eyes. They're cold, piercing, terrifying, especially if he's pissed off. Things were so much easier when I was a kid. I used to have fun. Dad wasn't such a stick in the mud about everything. But now that I'm almost an adult, I feel as if... Shun trails off, causing me to stop raking again. I glance over at him and cock my head to the side. Feel as if what, Shun? He sighs, turning to look me in the eyes. I notice the moisture building up within them, which surprises me. As if I'm not allowed to be myself anymore. Everything's all duty. I mean, I understand that they're all being hard on me because I'm the heir to the clan, but it's all such a pain. I have senior year of high school to complete, and on top of that, I'm being groomed to take grandfather's place as the head of the Coterie clan. It's so much to take in, hero. As I listen to his story, I begin drawing parallels to my own family life. An uncomfortable image of my father passes through my mind before vanishing. As troubling as the time was, it pales in comparison to what Shun is going through. I walk over to my friend, gently placing a hand on his shoulder. Hey, you just need to take it one step at a time. Besides, isn't your father the one who's next in line? The wolf breathes a heavy sigh, reaching up and brushing my hand from his shoulder. With a pained smile, he shakes his head. No, that would be a sensible decision. He glances to the side, voice going soft and almost like a whisper. A few stray tears fall from his cheeks. But he doesn't qualify. According to coterie tradition, I'm the only remaining male who can take the role. What? I'm stunned by what he says. What's that supposed to mean, the only remaining male? I seem to remember somebody else besides Mr. Coterie that would also fit the role. I don't get it. What about your... He doesn't qualify either. I'm the one burdened with this responsibility, and as such, I must be instructed in the customs and traditions of our clan. Defeated, I let my shoulders hang, my tail drooping in kind. I see. I'm sorry, Shun. I don't know what else to say, except... I'll kneel down on one knee and try to look him in the eye. I'm here for you. If there's anything you need, don't hesitate to ask me. I promise, it won't be a burden at all. He stares at me for a moment. Then a smile breaks across his face. My chest suddenly feels light as I see color return to him. Thank you, hero. That means so much to me. My tail swishes happily behind me. Any time, Shun. With the mood lifted, we both returned to cleaning the courtyard in silence. I grin triumphantly as I remove the last of the leaves from the courtyard. Nearby, Shun finishes his sweeping and looks around proudly. I'd say that about does it. As far as coterie cleaning standards go, this is sufficient. He does his best to sound like his father, though judging by his tone, he was clearly mocking him. Be careful, hero. I'll have you know that I'm a powerful wolf. Unable to stop myself, I laugh harder. Shun joins in, his tail wagging happily. Laughing stops when you hear footsteps approach. Both of us glance in the direction of the sound. Shun, you out here? Taro comes into view, giving his own smile as he sees us. Ah, I'm glad I found you. The lion turns to face me, scratching his head shyly. Mr. Nishimura, is it okay if I talk to Shun for a moment? Sure thing, Taro. Actually, now that I think about it, reaching into my pocket to pull out my cell phone and glance at the screen. The clock reads... I put my phone away and cringe. I need to get going. Grandma gave me a big list of errands today, and it's getting kinda late. Sorry for leaving so early. Little Wolf smiles at me and gives an assuring shake of his head. It's no problem at all, hero. I appreciate your help. I smile back, giving my friend a hug. Thanks, Shun. Remember, if you need anything. I know. We let each other go, but I can't help but feel a certain warmth as Shun wags his tail. Take care, hero. See you later too, Taro. I give the lion a wave, and he waves back. Bye, Mr. Nishimura. See you later. Turning away, I head for the steps and head leading down back down to the village. On the way there, I see Mr. Coterie, who's busy mopping the ground. For a moment, I consider bidding him farewell, but I can see he's clearly annoyed by the way he's moving. Perhaps it's unwise to aggravate him any further. I let out a soft sigh and begin to descend the stairs. When I finally make it to the bottom, I think about everything Shun said. Being told you're the one that must maintain a great legacy seems like such an intense burden. I can't help but feel an intense concern for him. Let's see. I can find eggs and I look down at the errands list. I've been shopping for hours now. I figured I'd be done with it in a flash, but for some reason all the things I need are spread across the whole town. To top it all off, I don't know where half these places are. Around the corner into an alleyway. The directions suggest the place I'm looking for should be near the end of this road. I thought I knew downtown Minnesota pretty well, but Grandma's list is leading me to depths I never thought existed. Come on, hero. The directions say the butcher is in the same district as the corner market. This isn't rocket science. Doesn't help that the temperature is crazy today. I suppose I should try calling one of my friends for help, but it's not like many of them have cell phones. Plus, if I told someone I got lost on a grocery run, the group would never let me live it down. If my estimations are correct, the road I'm looking for... Oh, I unexpectedly bump into someone's snout first. Oh, my nose. I gingerly rub it, tears blurring my vision. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm sorry for jumping out at you. No, it's my fault. Yeah, we finally see this motherfucker again. My apologies. Hiroyuki? I recognize that voice. Once the pain subsides, I rub my eyes to get a clear view of who's speaking. Shun? Oh, you don't know how happy I am to see you! Without warning, I lunge forward and embrace my friend. Hiro! I realize that what I'm doing and release and rubbing the back behind my head in embarrassment. Sorry. You're sure acting weird. Is everything alright? I stop for a moment to consider my next move. I could tell Shun my predicament, but is he the kind to hold it against me? ... Nah, probably not. If you're gonna stand there catatonic, I've got better things to do with my time. I was just thinking. My face turns red at what I'm about to confess. Okay, please don't laugh at me. His eyes. Tell me I can trust him with this information. I'm kinda lost. Grandma's sending you on errands, huh? Let me guess. You're looking for the butcher, right? How did you know that? Foo-foo. Let's just say I've had my share of challenges shopping here, too. Need some help? Aw. Gonna hang out with Shun. The sun starts to set when we finally finish the grocery section of my list. I'm really lucky you were around, Shun. I had no idea where anything was back there. You're welcome. It's really inconvenient not being able to use my cell phone out here. Really? I think I get along just fine without one. Yeah, well, once you've had one, it's hard to go back to this. By the way, I never asked what's in the bag you've got there. I point to the bag hanging over his shoulder. Were you out buying something too? Why are you asking? Does that surprise you? Okay, Hiro, choose your next words carefully. Kinda. I figured you had people around to do that for you, like your butler, Mr. Amaki. I'm capable of doing my own shopping, Hiroyuki. Besides, I like being the one to pick out fresh produce. Has the little black cat finally taken root in Minasato? It's a farming village, so it makes sense we'd have the freshest produce around. Yeah, but aren't your parents, paying someone to do this? I'm tired of leaving everything for somebody else to do. I'm not a child anymore. I'd like to be able to do some of the everyday tasks myself. Foo-foo. I look at it like an exercise. I browse around, pick the product I want, check to see if it fits the budget. Oh. That's so... normal or unlike you? Everybody's saying normal, so we're gonna go with normal. You know, Shun, that's surprisingly normal of you. Surprisingly? Yeah. It's cool you're taking the initiative on stuff like this. There's only 2 of us in that house. I can't make Amaki do everything. I don't know what image you have of me in your head, but I don't live a life cut off from reality. That's not what I'm saying, Shun. Come on, Hiro, you're losing him. I'm just saying, I think it's cool you're helping out. It's kind of like me running for errands for Grandma today. Oh. Thanks, I guess. I suppose I'm a little sensitive to people stereotyping me as this spoiled rich kid. That's not what I was getting at. Sorry if it sounded like that, Shun. It's fine. Great. We were doing so well, then I go and sour the mood. Cough. Shun suddenly leans forward, holding his chest. Shun? Cough, cough. Shun, are you okay? I'm fine. Just my asthma, nothing to worry about. He continues walking ahead of me. Alright. I catch up and walk with him for a bit, trying to make conversation. But he stays quiet and gives me only one-word answers the rest of the way. We eventually reach a fork in the road. I'm heading home. Good luck with the rest of your errands. Oh, right. See you later, Shun. I wave at him as he heads for the crossroads. I hope what I said didn't offend him. As much as I would have preferred hanging out with my friends, I end up spending most of the day completing Grandma's errands. I mean, it's only fair that I help them out, since they're letting me stay for so long. I wouldn't want to be a freeloader. Still, I only have so much time left in my summer break. Seems kind of a waste to spend so much of it on things like this. As I walk along the side of the road, I notice an old pickup truck slow down next to me. It's Tatsuki, isn't it? Yo! What are you up to, Hiroyuki? I guessed it. I look over my shoulder to see Tatsuki leaning out of the window of his car, waving at me. Hey, Tatsuki! What are you doing here? Don't you have work still? He slowly approaches and parks close enough for us to talk without yelling. Yep, just finished right now. I had to pick up some groceries for tonight. Yeah, I hear ya. I hold up the numerous bags I'm holding. I'm doing the same. So how's old Minnesota been treating you so far? I shrug my shoulders. I ended up spending most of the day running errands for Grandma, so... You're such a workaholic. Duh. I guess. Anyway, I'm on my way home. After this, I can't wait to kick back and have a nice drink. There's no separating you from sake, is there? Nope. I'm a dragon, Hiroyuki. We're real men, and real men drink. How old are you again? Hell if I know. As he laughs, I catch a glimpse of something vaguely bottle-shaped in a paper bag sitting in his drink carrier. He's hopeless, isn't he? Anyway, I've got some time to kill. Do you want me to give you a lift somewhere? Oh boy. Everyone warned me about his back at the welcoming party. Don't get in a car with Tatsuki driving. Seeing that covered bottle, I'm starting to see why. Still, my feet are kinda sore. Should I take a ride with Tatsuki? So we're gonna turn down our friend here real quick. Sorry, Tatsuki. There's still a few things I need to shop for right around over there. Vaguely pointed at the building in the distance. I'll admit, it's mostly to avoid having to get in that tiny pickup truck with him. Oh, that's too bad. I mean, if you want to wait for me to finish. Nah, it's fine. The others probably warned you about me, right? What? I'm not dumb, hero. Everyone thinks I drink too much and I drive like a maniac. Well, can't help that much, can I? You could start by not drinking and driving. I'll let you go then. I hope I'll get a chance to drive you sometime so I can prove them wrong. Sorry. We can try later. I'm kinda tired. Long day, you know. Yep, I get you. This just means I don't have to miss my TV shows tonight. You're so cold, Tatsuki. I stick my tongue out at him. You know it! Duh. See you later, Hiroyuki. Take care. ... He speeds off down the road. I might have lucked out seeing that careless display. I look back down at Grandma's list. I should finish up here and head home too. The television light flickers while I lay watching it in bed, yawn. What a crazy day. I spent so much of it running errands for Grandma, I didn't have much time for myself. Still, I ran into my friends a lot more than I expected. I guess that's the charm of living in a small town, huh? The soothing light from the screen slowly lulls me into a trance, yawn. Pulling the covers over me, I sink down and allow my heavy eyelids to close. I wonder what tomorrow's gonna bring.